What's up, everyone? Well, I didn't go anywhere. I hope y'all didn't go anywhere either, because Foe is here with Descent.
Hello. Yeah, welcome back to 1995-ish. I've got my emotional support Borjanen with me for co-commentary.
This is not to be confused with a cave movie I heard about and never seen.
And I'll get it on
next gen episode from season 6.
I'll get it going and explain more about it after that. So you may notice that I'm loading a save file to start with. But don't worry, I'm quitting the save file and starting a new game, absolutely new game. Nothing to see here. Also, we run without the music, so I'm going to start a music player playing the game's soundtrack in the background so that we can still hear the music. Okay, here we go. I'm going to count down.
Actually, it's I think using an ad-lib from back in the day.
Everyone ready? 3, 2, 1, going.
Voila.
So yeah, welcome to Descent. It's hope you don't have motion sickness. The game. I think it's the first game.
It's 2169.
Yeah, it's we're in the Earth's future.
There's lava on the moon.
We're currently on the moon for level 1. It's true.
The first 3 levels you are on the moon. The plot is 2169. You're a mercenary hired by the Post-Terran Mining Corporation to take out all these robots that have been infected with a virus.
Alien virus.
Yeah. And so it has all the 90s tropes, shady business, which, has a shady business.
You're gonna see an intentional death here. Just so people don't think I'm bad at the game. So we manage our health with hitting ourselves with our own splash damage from missiles as we get closer to that key. So it's got the old Doom key door things, where you pick up the blue key and go through a blue door.
Although unlike Doom, it always goes blue, yellow, red when you get always blue, yellow, red when they shake it out.
True.
But speaking of Doom, there's one thing you have to pay attention, audience, is the fact that you have to pay attention to the side of the screen, around the mid-rim where the cockpit is, because most of the time, Bo is, or even at the top, Bo is always moving at a corner or moving at the side because you move in all 6 directions, and because of the third dimension, it gives something similar to strafing, which is what people...
You ever heard of strafe moving?
It's called tricording, where you move in 3 different directions at the same time, and that's what gets you moving fast in this game.
Yeah, it does combine the 3 vectors into faster speed. So we're going to pick up an extra life after killing this reactor because I'm playing on the lowest difficulty, so you don't get that much score. But I want more lives than it would give me just from the score. So there's an extra life inside that grey Hulk I went out my way to kill. Just behind the reactor there. This level's a very make or break level on the run. It's got the melee enemies. There we go. Stuff like that happens.
That's kind of brought up in your one of your past streams, though. It wasn't as much make or break if you went by the actual shareware. The properties were altered more than they thought. Which means the shareware version, which was released in 4, and then 2 months later, the retail was altered.
Yeah, we got the old classic when they used to give you the first like 7 levels for free as a shareware, but yeah. We are on the full game. In fact, we're not technically on the full game. Oh, just squeeze past. Not that good. Not that good. Yeah, really want to avoid the melee enemies. Yeah, we're on the source port.
They are not. Yeah, the source port is called Retro, which is a fork of a more familiar port for general audience. It's called Rebirth. it allows you to run the game in modern systems.
But trying to be as accurate as possible.
Retro specifically, we'll get to why.
Oh, not enough damage. There we go.
We'll get to why.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
Okay. So I'm gonna try and hit that guy. Yeah.
I'm familiar with the first 7 levels because I ran those more often. That or coastal levels, so probably more expert in the hotel levels than I am. But,
Fire a homing missile down that corridor for later. Gonna try and do a nice little dodge of this guy. There we go. Let him come in the room. I'm finding the rhythm now at my low frame rate. So we got the Vulcan cannon. This is new.
Although technically you can get the Vulcan cannon in level 1. I mean, but the run doesn't allow it. Then you have to go as fast as you can and miss certain items.
So as you can see, it opens doors real fast because it's the fastest like projectiles in the game. So it's very useful for. Yeah, it's just like because doors take time to open, you bonk into them if you don't open them soon enough. So. 2, 4.
Also, yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, my apologies. I'm using my laptop's internal microphone. That's...
Oh well, we're on. Oh, where are we now? God. So first we go inwards in the solar system, and then we go outwards, right?
Yeah, we already took care of the moon. We took care of Venus. We're now on Mercury in level 6.
Yeah. That's why we got the kind of hotland music going on.
Although I'm sure where it restarts the first level's music, and because they didn't fix the music at that point.
We also have these enemies that fire the Vulcan cannon that I was just talking about, which means that they're basically impossible to dodge damage from because it moves so fast. If they fire at you.
Now this level is also a favorite of a specific member of our community, a guy named Ronald Clifford, or Roncliffe for short.
Big shout out.
It's one of his favorite levels, and we're gonna come up on why.
He's been keeping the. Oh yeah, here we go. It's the loudest room in the game. I'm coming up to it.
Yep, and
run away.
in harder difficulties, it's near impossible unless you know where everything is. And Roncliffe has, I swear, a big fetish about that room.
He likes to watch new players run into it and die instantly.
And Eclipse him, and sometimes I help him out on that.
Self-destruct sequence.
Okay, so I went out my way to get an extra life in that level, and also here I'm getting this one in this level. Kind of one extra life than I might need for marathon safety. Although I might use it if a certain route opens up to me, availability-wise. We'll find out later in the game. Melee enemies every time. Get very lucky to actually be able to squeeze past melee enemies in a corridor.
They were a little more of a pushover in the sharer version.
And at higher difficulties they're way worse as well, so this is why I run at the lowest difficulty, mostly because it downgrades the melee enemy's aggressiveness. Otherwise I would run it like Rookie, the next difficulty up, to get more points for more extra lives, but I think because...
Although we talked about how in Descent 2, it's like Trainee is a trainee's trainee.
Yeah, Descent 2 is easier. This game was too hard for general public, they made it easier.
So that's why you used running D2 on Rookie that time to try.
So we're coming up to the first boss of the game.
And
very terrifying.
Bosses are why retro is what is used here because.
Well, this specific version, yeah. Before this was fixed because we brought it up.
Well, yeah, with Rebirth, yes. Not with retro. Retro always uses 0.58.1 of Rebirth.
Yes. So he's supposed to keep teleporting around the room. Yeah.
In normal.
Don't crash my
in
game,
normal
please. Okay.
I almost lost the power on my laptop. I'm sorry. In normal circumstances, the boss would teleport around each time you hit it. It looks like it's cloaking, but it's teleporting, and one of the reasons why it's deadly is not just because of its weapons, but it can teleport, snipe you. It can teleport at
On top of
another
you,
angle, fire, and then teleport away.
But the
boss
reason I
is
loaded the
designed
save state, I mean, not the save, the save file,
to prevent the teleportation.
it's the only exploit we found in this game. There aren't really any other glitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we've so basically
Although
on that previous.
Although
Yeah.
technically there is another glitch, but it's unusable in this game. It's very usable in Descent 2 though. The,
Oh, yeah.
laser,
Like poking your guns through a wall, yeah.
But that's Descent 2.
Yeah, so the reason it works is because there's a variable. Oh, my controls just froze. Please. there's a variable that doesn't get reset when a new game starts, which is like number of teleports that the boss is doing or something. I can't exactly remember. It's been a while. So we load up a new game, and then we just sit around in that new game on level 7 or a level where a boss is for like a good 10-20 minutes. And then we save the save file. So every time we want to start a new run, it's as if the boss has been sitting there for like 20 minutes, and it uses up all its teleport cycles just sitting in the same place for those first like 20 minutes of the game, which is time enough for us to get to the level and it still be there.
And for casuals like me, it ruins the fun. But I'm not the one speedrunning here.
Yeah, on the red levels.
This game made me love boss fights.
Yeah, no, only has 2 of them.
Well, this and Descent 2. I mean, Descent 2 has
Yes,
more.
Descent 2 has
bosses.
lots. Yes.
Yeah, but it also has a more orderly level progression because you travel to a different world every 4 levels, and it's more orderly that way. You get a better sense of progression than you do with D1 Retail.
More melee enemies getting in the way. These are the 4-armed ones as opposed to the 2-armed ones from earlier. Also, we have the 1-armed ones, but they're not so much melee. They make the screaming noise though.
How would y'all feel about a donation right about now?
Go for it, go for it.
Awesome. Well, Indy sent in $1.69 and just said, "Hi." Yeah, can I get some nices in the chat, please? It was extremely nice. Actually, I mean, not only did I not miss the 69 donation, thanks to Indy, but we also met our incentive for the DLC track showcase because we were looking for $1.68 and we got $1.69. Now we're sitting at $500.01 out of the $500. We needed to unlock that, so it is unlocked. Thank you so much, Indy, for your generosity.
Thank you. An important thing just happened. I died on purpose again, but after I killed the reactor. So that means the level just ends straight away. So I don't have to go and find the exit.
Yeah,
But that does mean I lose all of my weapons.
Yeah, you still start with basic weapons, but one thing about level design in this game is that if you're playing casually and you destroy the reactor but you lose your life and you go, oh, darn it, or whatever, and don't fret. Each level has enough items that allow you to complete the level with what's in it. I mean, it's almost like what John Romero did with the Doom levels. It's every level you can complete with what's in it if you start from cold. But that's for casual. But
We've got the most
sometimes
important for the speedrun. I need to point out.
Oh, and yeah, the fusion cannon is it makes most enemies a pushover. I mean, in single player it is very devastating because it does forgot how many
charge it up
damage, but
enough.
it does way more damage it does in multiplayer.
It does double, yeah.
Yeah, it does double what what multiplayer does. They kind of had to half it when thinking about netplay.
But yeah, it's a charge and shoot weapon, so if you charge it up for long enough, it'll basically one-shot anything, which I'm going to display here.
I wish I could aim better with that. I still play multiplayer well, not every night, but every other.
Oh, please hit. No, I didn't display it! This is a bit sketchy now, I really don't want to die. And these guys are firing homing missiles at me. Oh, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, it is busted in D1 Zello, but that's why they nerfed it down in D2, even in single player, and some of the expert players who find the fusion cathartic kind of laments that about D2 and
no, the problem with it is the blobs of it are so huge, but if they so much as touch a wall, they disappear instantly and do no damage to anything. So I just aimed too high there and hit the roof above the reactor, and didn't manage to get the kill on it, which I really needed to not die to those guys. So I'm on one less life than I anticipated here.
Critics, there is still a multiplayer community. It's not as alive as Doom's multiplayer community, but still, it's kicking.
Is that?
It's kicking in two different source ports, the retro one I brought up, and in Rebirth. Rebirth is a little more casual. Although I try to be casual with my games on retro.
So yeah, now a lot of the routing is, when do I need to start charging up my fusion cannon to get the correct amount of damage on the next guy that's coming up in like 3 seconds time? When you charge up the fusion cannon for a long time, it starts doing damage to you as well, and also shakes your ship about.
And you can kill yourself with it. I've done that plenty of times, especially in multiplayer. A few days ago it happened to me. So you really got to watch and remember when the time is between, and if you have to overcharge, you got to consider all these factors. Would it be worth it? Not just in multiplayer, but especially in the speed run when you're running around, because there are some levels where you have to charge it as you move, and then place that right shot, and it goes through robots and the reactor.
Here we go. So here's a time where it is worth it, because I want to one-shot the reactor. Otherwise the reactor has lots of health. They get more health every level. So there's a shot on the reactor, and I don't have to say they're shooting it for ages. Luckily I did not die because I had a lot of health going into that room, but the mine layers in that room do a lot of damage, because mines seem to just do the same amount of damage on every difficulty.
Yeah, mines are the only weapon that's unchanged. I have the worst luck with proximity mines in multiplayer. God.
So here we're going to see, I do have enough lives, yeah. Here we're going to see a double death warp. So I'm going to leave my weapons near the start of the level. That's not exactly where I wanted to leave them, but we'll get them back in a minute.
Each time I see the word lurk, I can think of the level lurk. There's a level named lurk, and one of my some of my colleagues just love that custom-made level. It's just kind of.
Oh yeah, the mapping community is. Come up with some bangers over time.
Being made, both for single player and multiplayer. So even if you're not a multiplayer person and you're a casual person and you you think this, it's interesting. Even if you finish the original 27 levels and you crave more, but you don't want to go straight away to Descent 2, guess what? There are custom-made levels for single player that you can go through.
So I went far away to get the red key, and now I'm back here and can pick up my weapons again, without having to backtrack all the way back from the red key. So now this is the hardest level of the game that I'm scared of. It has so many red hulks in it.
In recent practice runs, you've had terrible luck, and I killed someone there.
Yeah, this is bad luck because I've got no shield pickups from those first two guys.
Yeah, if he does badly here, he's gonna have to improvise.
That's okay there. So I'm really hoping to dodge as many homing missiles as I can from these. Bad luck on the spiders spawning there, you can get different amounts.
Well, it could be worse. Rockley could have done his little rogue-like mod with the bot.
There we go. Okay, we killed both of those red hulks with a fully charged up shot. Oh, I didn't kill those. I didn't quite charge up enough to kill those plasma guys there. Gonna kill that guy on the other side of the room. We're gonna try and get one shot through these guys. We're gonna use a mega missile into this next room. If the mega missile explodes anywhere near me, it just kills me instantly because it's that powerful. So we're just gonna send it in there.
Mega Missile is definitely one of the most overpowered things. It's hardly used in multiplayer for that reason, but it's even casually, because some bots are just a pain to get rid of. The Fusion Hulk, which appears in the first secret level, the red homing missile Hulk. It takes one mega missile or the equivalent to get rid of it. And one of the developers later on, when interviewed as they were making Overload, which is a spiritual successor to Descent, he was asked about why the red Hulk bot had so much health.
I remember this. Yeah.
And he said it was a mistake.
It's like, well, that can't be right. Why does it have that much health? Okay, let's see if I die. If I die here, then I go with one route. If I don't die, I go with a different route. Oh, there's a health pick up there. Okay, I guess I'm not dying. I shouldn't have said that so early, but yeah, not gonna jinx it. Okay, good. Right, as long as I dodge his homing missile, we're fine.
Yeah, I'm on a 10-second delay, so it's like, dude, jeez, what are you making in time?
Okay. That's the furthest away exit in the game, which I don't really want to...
armor, sea worm. This is Descent. This is not Overload.
I don't want to lose all my weapons at the end of that level, even though it would skip me flying all the way to the exit, because I want to leave my weapons here.
Yeah.
For this reactor. Okay, so we're going to play this level without weapons, because we leave all our weapons at the start, but that's okay. We get a spread fire cannon here, which is pretty overpowered in this game. It's fast shooting, so it opens doors nicely.
Although it's not one of the faster weapons overall. It is my favorite weapon though, especially for Sherwood. I mean, ever since I was a kid playing this, it's one I gravitate towards. Although I don't use it as often anymore nowadays.
Nice example of lava doing splash damage to everyone there, including the enemies.
Or what Ronkley calls the chili buzz method.
Oh, get out of the way. There's an invisible guy in the way there. That's what I can just use an excuse for every time I fly into a wall. Oh, there's an invisible guy in the way? No, there actually was. There are cloaked variants of enemies in this game.
3. Cloaked Lifter, Cloaked Medium Hulk, Cloaked Driller. Driller is the worst, called by me.
Yeah, we haven't seen those yet. They're introduced very late, the cloaked drillers. They have more health for some reason. Annoyingly.
And they do less in points. They're like 200 points less. And
Really?
Very odd.
Oh.
Yeah. I paid attention to that. I was like, that can't be
I think
right.
that's probably because we only see them. It's probably because we only see them being made by robot makers like infinitely. So you have so many of them.
Well, and the developers could justify it with lore, because in the briefing at the start, Dravis did say, you know, expect to see completely new bots as well.
Okay. Oh, I got a cloak.
Yes, this game does have lore. Those of you joining us, it does have lore.
There's a nice one shot on a reactor there.
I would love to know this lore.
The year, I kid you not, I know there's people meme with the number, the latter part of the number, but I kid you not, it takes place, I read this, I saw it in the magazine, 2169. You're a mercenary.
That's what the 169 is about.
Yeah, I picked that up, but I didn't want to interrupt.
Donation. It was perfect. It was perfect. Anyway.
I kid you not. I was didn't mean. Not like anyone's gonna see that action right now, unless you get messed over with by a bot, but.
Okay,
but yeah, and you're supposed to clear all these mines in the solar system. You start from the moon, and then you go inward, Venus, Mercury, and then you swing out to Mars and the rest until you get to Pluto and its moon Charon.
You're being sent out there by this bureaucrat named Dravis.
Who works for the Post-Terran Mining Corporation. He's slimy as all.
You get your 90s like main character dialogue.
His voice, and changes his voice up in 5 Descent 3, different voice actors.
Oh yeah.
Because in the PlayStation port and in Descent 2 proper, as well as the PlayStation port of D2, They do introduce FMV cutscenes. For us PC players initially,
I'm getting
we
involved.
just
This
got
is a
text
marathon. Safety invuln. I was going to just go in here and tank everything, but I already died once trying to do that on level 10, so just get the invulnerability.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
Yeah, so you got out of the last level. That's what I was talking about with fusion being a necessary tool because and having to master because the perfect shots can land you multiple kills at once
Yes.
in the single player.
The only thing that like pierces through everything in a line.
The only thing it doesn't pierce through is the wall.
Yep, instantly disappears on any wall contact. This is going to be. I'm going to have to pay attention on this reactor coming up where I try and one-shot this reactor because I have to get the correct angle for it not to clip the side of the wall where the reactor is. Oh, I just missed that. Far too far.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tricoring, like you are, making everybody feel busy. Even me sometimes. I try to imitate how you fly sometimes in multiplayer, and it's just like I can't do it.
I think it's because I press the roll. I press the roll buttons way more. I roll.
You're using
left
the
and right.
mouse. You're also using the mouse. I'm still all keyboard. I'm the last all
Oh
keyboard
yeah, all
user.
people. No, the IL runner. What's it? Begins with an M. There's an IL runner that uses all keyboard.
Martin?
Yeah, I think so. Oh,
I mean,
I
well,
let go of my
but
fusion shot.
he's doing it, but he uses, he runs individual
Okay.
levels and he's just speed runs. I mean, if I just use it in general, even in multiplayer, and but multiplayer single player doesn't matter. Mouse and keyboard is the ideal for most.
Oh, yeah, talking of mouse in this game, there's the sensitivity. You can't increase past a certain amount, and it's very low. Or most people feel it as very, very low, unless you play.
The point is, you're driving a ship. The first person view, is inside the cockpit of a ship, the Pirate GX. And that's why you move better in certain ways, worse in certain ways, up and down. Pitching is slower, things like that. And originally, when this game was conceived, the developers, one of which worked on Microsoft Flight Simulator, I was thinking they weren't thinking of it as a shooter. They were thinking of it as like a not a flight sim game, but like almost like it.
Yeah.
Like almost. But it still has the arcadey elements because it has a score, it has lives. You got to worry about it in a single player. It's not so much in E3 or in multiplayer though.
So yeah, we got lucky with the melee enemy placements here a little bit. Only one in the way.
How y'all feel about some incentive talk right now?
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, we have all kinds of incentives that we are looking to unlock, including one for the game coming up right after this one. We're going to have a run of Mighty Number 9, and you can choose the soundtrack for that with your donations, of course. It is a bid war between the original soundtrack and the retro soundtrack, with the original soundtrack with a mighty lead at $221.88, and the retro soundtrack trailing behind at $60. So if you feel strongly about that retro soundtrack, now would be a really good time to get those donations in. Make sure that you click on the incentives and check them out, because things don't automatically go towards the incentives. You definitely have to assign them. We also have another incentive we are trying to meet for Deer Simulator, and I say that because there are really a lot of E's in Deer. Your average everyday Deer game to watch the cutscenes. We're looking for $200 to unlock that. We're sitting at $60. So we definitely have a ways to go. We also have about 4 hours to raise that $140. So I really believe that we can do that. I think that chat can raise that money for the Organization for Autism Research. So please do get those donations in. Thank you.
We saw another double death warp there where I've left my weapons somewhere, then gone off in a different direction, and in order to avoid backtracking all the way to them. These guys are very annoying. I'm gonna just die on the key that I pick up.
Is this the one with the box that has the keys inside them?
No, that's coming up in 2 levels, I think.
Oh, okay.
So little mega missile here. I'm gonna.
Which is a
pick
trope
up
they do
anything.
more in Descent 2, and it's more annoying in Descent 2.
It is more annoying because they're faster moving and stuff in Descent 2. Yeah. Bigger
Yeah, with
areas.
the guppy bots. The guppy bots, yeah. Although they eventually fly towards you and they crash into you, so it's not that annoying. Except for when they do crash into you and take away some shields.
Alright, see if I can get the 2-shot on this. The reactors have so much health now that 1 shot of the fusion cannon, even fully charged, doesn't kill them now. Okay, I landed the shot, good. Alright, gotta make sure I aim well.
Self-destruct sequence.
So yeah, now they take 2 shots.
We should do another co-op one eventually. We need to find a level set and
Yeah,
just casually go through it.
it's the other multiplayer that goes on this, yeah. You can co-op through any
Yeah.
campaign.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the devs when they made Overload, they didn't do that for multiplayer. They didn't do co-op, but for the Descent games, the trilogy, you can co-op the single player or any single player map or level. We interchanged the map.
He butt missiled me. He fired a homing missile out of his backside. Wasn't even facing me.
That happens. As long as they have sight of you, or as long
He
as their
didn't have-
weapon ports have sight of you, they will fire. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. The moment any part of their weapons have sight of you, they will fire.
It's
so
very
things
common
like
for that
when-
guy to do it.
They don't have to. The eyes on the boss, they don't have to spot you. Just their weapon ports. I mean, I've seen that all the time in single players.
They literally have eyes. We'll just say they have eyes in the back of their head.
Yeah.
I don't, you know,
It's like
eyes
it's
in
like,
other places just disturb me. So
It's like the mech designs in Gundam after Zeta. I mean, you have an obvious head camera, but you also have these mini cameras you never see for the 360 cockpit view.
Just to make it more cinematic, you know. Oh please, I'm trying to get past this mine without hitting it. Oh, I'm going the other way. They do so much damage.
Yeah. And I have the worst proximity mine. I try to lay in multiplayer. Each time I try to lay down a proximity mine trap, someone always spots me,
Yeah.
sets off my mind's eye, and it counts as a suicide. It's the worst luck.
Oh, we got
Always
good luck.
happens.
The red keybot was in a perfect position. He didn't like it. Sometimes it can take a minute to go and find that red keybot if he decides to run away, but it's good luck there. Okay. Ah! Shield, please. Okay, good. Safe now. Right. So we're on. We got what, like 7, 8, 6 levels left, I think. It's not been- it's been a bit of a
not
clunky
bad
run,
so
but
far. Yeah,
The
not bad
death on
so
level
far.
10
I
was
mean, you
real bad.
clearly
Everything
on-
else is okay.
Yeah, you're clearly on the path to 40 minutes. At least, around there.
Giving it a go. So we're gonna pick up an extra life in this level as well, because I'm having to manage my life count for levels where I know I need to death warp twice in the future. Let's see, it's in this room. There we go. I'm skipping the secret levels today, but there would be a secret exit on this level. There are 3 secret levels in the game.
Yeah, and it takes
They are like
longer,
entire levels,
to go
right?
through the entire level set if you focus on the secrets too. That would probably
It's a
be
puzzle
a
reactor.
level run or something.
The doors to this reactor don't open unless you fly into places in a certain order.
Oh yeah, that puzzle.
Will you
Yeah,
know
I
the
almost
order?
forgot about that.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
Okay, so this one's a bit tricky. I'm going to leave all my weapons at the start without collecting this invulnerability. Please let me into the little alcove where my weapons will be collected nicer. There we go, right. And we're going to come back for them at the end, where we need the invulnerability to tank through 1,000,000 cloaked drillers that we were talking about earlier. But I need to play the rest of this level without weapons. That was really good. I didn't get hit by the homing missiles of those guys that were right next to me. That's the hardest part. So now I have quite a lot of health. Let's pick up this cloak. I'm gonna fly up the spiral, as I don't know, we call it. Literally just this massive pillar where there's a window with a driller in every every 90 degrees around. And at the top, 2 of these guys, which I've charged up the fusion cannon for in advance. Okay, got plenty of health. I'm usually like 1 shot away from dying at this point, so very good.
Yeah,
So get the red key.
recent practice runs.
Yeah.
Sometimes hit or miss.
Now we get the invuln and all our weapons back, and we go this way. And in order to avoid not having to let go of my fusion shot, I use a mega missile on that corridor to clear it out, and then I get the fully charged fusion shot on that reactor to hit it with. This is the room. That's why we need the invulnerability to be in that room and be still alive, right? Okay.
Yeah. I made such a big deal about that one room in level 6, but some of these levels and you know, they're still a nightmare to go through. You know, even if you can see it a mile away, it's still a nightmare.
Let's squeeze past that melee enemy in the corridor.
Although, and this is true for, this is why the developers made the levels as they are, because if you go through user-made levels, the robots can't fire after if they spot you, but you're too far away. They have a range. So if you're too far away, the robots won't fire. But if you approach and meet that range, they will start firing. But they can spot you from a mile away.
You get some very cool, like, very big dark rooms where there's robots on the far side of places. Okay. I want to keep my health as high as possible for this level, because at the end in the reactor room, the first time we see fusion. Oh please! Oh god! Okay. That's the first time we see fusion hulks, which fire the fusion cannon, which is the most busted weapon in the game, as I've been demonstrating for the most of it. But they fire it at me now, so slightly. I think it does 60 damage instantaneously, and it moves super fast. So I want to be definitely above 60 and probably a bit more than that, which is very good right now because I'm going in with 100. Charge up. There they are. Don't hit me. Okay. Cool. Get out of the way, please. That's right. There's some trapdoors there that let enemies out behind me. And we're going to ignore this guy in the exit and just run right in. Okay. Run. This is
forward to during this difficulty. With harder difficulties, you have to pay more attention to the boss because they will be ruthless.
Yeah. Their fire rate gets way faster.
And not just their fire rate, but their health. I mean, I was you know, toying around with the last level just before we started just before you started your run, and I was experimenting, seeing if you could one-shot a fusion Hulk on hotshot, and I couldn't with a Vega.
Oh no, neither can I. I don't think I can. Oh, maybe with a Mega.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's true with Trainee as much as it is on hotshot. I was experimenting on hotshot.
I definitely have to plan in advance, like a fully charged fusion shot and like 4 missiles to kill a fusion Hulk. So
yeah.
We're gonna hit this guy with a smart. Oh, I thought we were gonna hit this guy with a smart. What happened to my smart? Change weapons somehow, right?
As it is. I mean, especially compared to how, and not to knock on Doom because I still enjoy Doom. The AI in Doom, you know, it's just basically walking around and then occasionally shooting you. But with the AI, they can dodge your attacks. Especially if you're using lasers. I mean, I most of the time, if you use lasers or missiles or basically rockets, it's a misnomer to use missiles. Stuff. Unless it's home. Yeah, the AI can knows how to dodge. It gets worse with the Descent 3.
So in these very late levels, as the enemies get chunkier, I'm doing my best to just fly past as many of them as possible without even stopping, because they take too much time to kill. Obviously that makes stuff more dangerous. So they're shooting at me the whole
I
time.
would recommend trying to focus on an edge of the screen where foes trying to move. Maybe you can get a little bit less dizzy if you kind of,
well,
you know, if you move in the direction.
The trick is to watch it in a smaller window. Watch it in a smaller window.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you watch it in a small window, look at the corner he's moving at, and then maybe you'll get a better idea.
A big dark room. I love these. Right.
Although, foe, quite frankly, your flying can get dizzy, but it has to be to go this fast. I'll always miss that clip that got DMCA'd where IDMB and you were tailing Jelly Bus for 40 seconds.
Because I get bored in multiplayer and just like do speedrun movement around instead of trying to shoot people because I can't aim. I'm bad at aiming. I'm good at moving.
I'm bad at aiming and moving, but it doesn't stop me.
Okay, here's another one. So this is where I needed a certain threshold of points to get enough lives for the second last level here, because I need to die 2 times on this. So we just made the correct amount of lives. So we've got 1 life left to use in this death warp, because the blue key is so far away. Going all the way around here. This is my favourite level design-wise, I think, of this set. It's got a lot of like, oh please, there we go. It's got a lot of grates that you fly on the inside of first and then the outside of later, or if you find a secret you get to the outside of, like divided up in that way. So you see all the same rooms but from the inside first and the outside.
It's kind of neat room reuse. It's reminds me of what Romero said about when he was making levels. He was inspired for Doom. General level design, I tend to believe this. If you can reuse a room in multiple ways, like they did with certain areas in Zelda, it's a good idea because it feels more like you're exploring an area. I mean, for some it feels like backtracking, but it's more like you get a sense of exploration out of it.
Yeah. I think so. So we're going into some secret here.
More, but that's an aesthetic point of view.
There's some secret doors in this area which contain mega missiles, and I'm stocking off on the maximum amount of mega missiles you can carry, which is 5.
But just 5, yes.
For a specific reason, coming in the next level. I notice my music's got to the credits already, so I'm a bit behind.
Yeah, he used to run faster than this, but like every other runner, you can't always run the best runs all the time.
I went a bit aggressive on level 10 and completely died there, so I had to like fly through the whole of level 10 again. That was the main mistake. So, here we go, the last level. We've got all our mega missiles. I'm going to use one at the start, because I'm going to pick up another one and I can't carry another one.
Yeah, if you fly through that front door at the start casually, that's kind of BS to get the to just. But then it's even more BS to encounter these fusion halts when you go down here.
Yeah, we're going to try and. We've taken this invulnerability and we need to make it last as long as possible to get through a lot of these enemies. So I have to fly really fast with the. Oh no, the door! I have to fly really fast with this.
The second and last boss level. It's also easy casually. And you'll see why when we get to the boss room.
Okay, my invuln lasted just long enough to not get killed by those guys. Now it's out. That's what we need it for. Oh, please get out of the way. Okay. I didn't want to fly into that room because there's another fusion hulk in there just around the side that would be shooting at me. So.
No, their fusion can't do to you what you can do to them with.
They can't charge it up. Yeah.
They can still damage you pretty good with fusion, even on Trainee.
Alright, here we go. It's the boss. I'm going to fire all my missiles in, hopefully get a little bit of a quick kill set up here, if I'm lucky. Maybe not. Find out. Oh yeah, some of them homed in. One of them homed in.
Yeah. The boss is supposed to teleport through those four alcoves, and you're supposed to find the right alcove to attack. That's what it's generally, but because of the glitch where you mentioned earlier by level 7, it's he stays in that same alcove. I wish the level configuration for that last room was.
It's gonna be time. It's time. Time. On the final exit there. 42. Okay. Yeah, it's not the worst. It's not the worst. 42,
Yeah,
27
and
in in-game
I
time.
mean, at least you didn't game over from some BS fluke.
Oh yeah, because I was on 0 lives plenty of times there because of why we do the death swaps.
Yeah.
Ah,
So
very
if
good,
you
very
want
good.
if you want a better ending than just text and art, go watch the FMVs for the PlayStation port.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
the beginning and ending.
I don't know how you play it on PlayStation controller though. There just aren't enough buttons on.
Oh, agreed. I don't know how people can play FPS games anymore using controllers. I mean, I somehow managed it with the N64 when I was a kid, but I was a PC kid at the same time. I was using keyboard and then later mouse and keyboard. Well, for traditional FPSs, I'm still all keyboard for Descent, and I can't. If I
But
change
yes.
my controls, it'll be twin joystick.
Oh, twin joystick, like a real gamer. If people
Like
want to
a
give it a
giant
go,
robot, like a giant robot pilot or Virtual On fan. Virtual On
yeah,
is the best arcade game.
there's discords for where's the best? There's an Overload Discord, which is this game but modernized and
There are also a few Descent discords. There's
yeah.
one for a tournament, a multiplayer tournament called the Observatory, which is on hiatus by Ronkley. I mentioned him before. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
And
been running those tournaments for
he,
ages.
since 2017. That's how I found him out.
So yeah, I'm sure you can get to at least one of the discords through the speedrun.com page as well. And thanks for watching.
Thank
Hope
you.
you haven't thrown up too much. And
Lovely
leave it at
run. Thank you
Get the
so
observatory
much.
back.
yes. Okay.